शारदा शारदां भोजवदना वदनाम्बुजे सर्वदा सर्वदास्माकं सन्निधिं सन्निधिं क्रियात् श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। भारतीकरुणापात्रं भारतीपदभूषणं भारतीपदमारूढं भारतीतीर्थमाश्रये विद्याविनयसम्पन्नं वीतरागं विवेकिनं वन्दे वेदान्ततत्त्वज्ञं विधुशेखरभारतीम् अस्मद्गुरुचरणारविन्दयोः साष्टाङ्गप्रणामान् समर्पयामः। Hari Om to everyone. I hereby take this opportunity to take you back to our previous session where we spoke about how a jiva leaves the body along with all the three kinds of vritti, that is the frozen knowledge of all his karma through kaya, vacha, manasa, whatever he has done. That is, there are three vrittis that are formed at the time of pranotkramana. One is vag vritti, which is the culmination of all the karmas through the physical body, sharira. Manovritti, that has been done by all indriyas and manas, and all the kinds of prana kriya, whatever that one has dealt with in their lifetime, it gets culminated in the prana vritti. So all these three vrittis, they freeze into a kind of a capsule and they leave the body, and then on they, according to their karma phala, wherever they have to be born again, so they enter the womb of the would-be mother through the purusha, and their vrittis, the vag vritti, manovritti and pranavritti, the order is slightly different. It is in the reverse order. That is, the pranavritti is formed first, where the prana will start acting in the second month of pregnancy. Manovritti starts functioning in the 5th month of pregnancy, but vag vritti is seen only after the birth of the baby. Okay, so till then vag vritti is not seen. So the pranavritti is seen in the second month in the form of a heartbeat maintaining all the functional aspects in the fetus and its growth. And the manovritti is seen in the 5th month, where it says Panchame Manaha. So, in the 4th month, it actually says Mata Dauhridini Sanjayate. So, when you say Dauhridini, so it is the mother which it says, Shastra says, the mother will have two hearts, one of herself and the second is that of the fetus. So she becomes an individual with two hearts. So there are a lot of desires that she will have in the 4th month, and which is also sort of expressed in the 5th month very vividly. So it says Panchame Manaha. So the beautifully what actually happens is the fetus starts dreaming in the 5th month. So it dreams of all nature except Vak, and also Prithvi, that is Gandha. Except Gandha and Vak, so Drishya, Rupa is seen. So the fetus can actually dream of rivers, mountains, flowers, etc., sunlight, all these things. And it will also be in a position to sense any kind of an interaction between the would be father and mother. So if they fight, it will know that they are fighting. Okay, so it also expresses. So if they are doing some japa or parayana, the baby is very, very calm, and it is very happy. So all these things are not just hearsay. Scientific experiments have been conducted, and ultrasonography scans have been taken, and it has been revealed that all these expressions are shown by the fetus in the 5th month itself. So the manovritti is formed in the 5th month. That is why we say that proper samskara has to be there right from the garbhadana. And after the delivery, so there is this vagvritti that is formed. So now today's topic basically is origin of speech and bhasha. Okay, so I just gave you a brief summary of what we dealt in the previous session. Now today the topic being origin of speech and bhasha. So we have to, so why is this topic being chosen? Okay, so I'll just give you a gist about why we chose this topic. You see, speech and language are so important, because not only to understand, even to convey, it is the very first kind of an expression from the Sharira, without which, how much ever you try to show it with your finger or your drishti, you might not be in a position to exactly pinpointedly say and convey the exact meaning what is there to which the meaning is attributed to of an object, the meaning of an object. So it becomes very, very important about language, speech and language. So it has to be there in the right way, as per the Shastra and Dharma. Now, what happens? We have seen that during pranotkamana, our karma will result in our karma phala. So all the actions done in our previous life through our sharira will come in the form of vak. Okay. So what is very important is, why is it so important about speech? You see, when a baby is born, the existence of life and validation of normal activity of the mind and other vital organs are sort of validated by the cry of the baby. Now that is vak. Okay. That is, if a baby cries, it means that it is sort of all the organs inside are functioning, and the baby, you are validating the existence and survival of the baby. Then everybody, once there is a cry of the baby, everybody cheer up. Okay, and they all distribute sweets and all that. Yes, now the baby is fine and things like that. See, so what happens is, we have to understand two things here very clearly as to what is origin of speech. So how does this speech originate? From where does it originate? What is the actual thing that happens behind the origin of speech? From where does it come? Okay, and then later on we will move to bhasha. Bhasha is language. Okay. Now, coming to the origin of speech, okay, that is vak. So, see what our shastras say. Okay, so in the Veda, in Laghunyasa, before commencement of Rudra, अग्निर्मे वाचि श्रितः वाग्हृदये हृदयं मयि अहमृते अमृतं ब्रह्मणि. That is, it says Agnihi me vachi shritah. Okay, so that is, Agni is that Devata is present in Vak, okay, in speech. And you see, if you see Aitareya Upanishad, it says, Agnihi Vagbhutva Mukham Pravishat Vayuhu Prano Bhutva Nasikam Pravishat, it says. So, what becomes very important here is to know that the Adhidevatas, according to our karma, play their role accordingly in bringing the vak out. So, it says, Agnim vak bhutva mukham pravishat, Agdirme vachishritah, etc. Now, if we have to also understand what is the connection between Vak and Agni, we have to go back to Chandogya, and we have also dealt with this particular topic where the connection between Agni and food, which brings out Vak, okay, which gets converted as Vak, also is what we have dealt with. That is, so if we take all kinds of fats, that is ghee, oil, etc. So the sthula bhaga goes to asthi, the madhyama bhaga goes to majja, that is bone marrow, and the sukshma bhaga goes to vak. So this is what the Chandogya says. So there is a direct link between ahara and agni, agni and vak. That is, so you see, what is the connection between, see, all fats are termed as sneha in Ayurveda. Sneha means that which gets attached to, is what is the meaning. So, so what is the connection between Agni and Sneha? Is we see Ayurda Agne Havisho Jushano Ghrita Pratiko Ghritayo Niredhi Ghritam Pitva Madhucharugavyam Piteva Putram Abhirakshata is what is the mantra? That is Ghrita Pratikaha. So Agni is referred to as Ghrita Pratikaha. So he is a direct representative of Ghrita. So that is, there is, if you pour ghee into Agni, Agni glows even more. So which means to say that there is Agni in Ghrita. Okay? And when it comes to Vak, it also says, Shastra says, is nakhalu pitta vyatirekat anyo agnihi upalabhyate. Nakhalu pitta vyatirekat anyaha agnihi upalabhyate. So whatever that is present in our body, what we call as pitta and jఠaragni, they are not different. So it is basically Agni. So this Agni is what gets transformed as Vak. Okay? So there is a very, very, very direct connection between Agni and Vak. Okay? So to explain it in a very in a simpler way, what actually happens when the baby is born? How does it cry? So what makes the Vak to get activated is, you see, when the baby comes out, immediately it starts breathing through its nose. So in the Veda it says Nabhisthaha Pranapavanaha Sprishtva Hrit Kamalantaram Kanthat Bahihi Viniryati Patum Vishnu Padamritam. So here Vishnu Padamritam is nothing but the oxygen that is available outside. So the oxygen enters through the nose and the diaphragm, it opens up, and oxygen, is combustible. So it lights the Agni, and then the lungs expand, thereby activating the Agni in the form of Vak, and immediately the baby starts crying. Okay? So this is a very beautiful mechanism that is carried out by Bhagavan himself through the Adhidevatas. So speech, that is Vak, starts right from day one when the baby starts crying. Okay. So how do we know that there is Agni inside? Because you see what I told you, the connection between air, that is oxygen, and Agni. I'm sure everybody knows that Agni has Vayu and Akasha in it. So there is also Shabda in Agni along with movement, okay, Chalatva of Vayu. So if we want to sort of experience by ourselves, if we close our ears carefully and just listen to that sound which is present inside, we will be able to clearly understand as if there is fire inside, as if you can imagine fire in an oven, okay, burning. So exactly, I mean, similar sound is sort of heard even in the ears if you close and sort of concentrate on that. So Agni, as long as there is Agni present in the body, Vak is very active. As the age advances in Vardhakya, when the digestive fire or Agni goes down, automatically Vak also goes down. So we have to clearly understand that the origin of speech is through the anugraha of Agni and Vayu. Mainly Agni. Vayu is already present in Agni. Akasha, Vayu, they are already present in Agni. Okay. So this is something that is very important. Now, what is the extension of Vak as bhasha? Okay. So we have to understand what is Vak. You see, Vak has artha in it already. So Kalidasa says, Vagartha viva sampraktau, Vagartha pratipattaye, Jagatah pitarau vande Parvati parameshwaro. Okay. So when he refers to Vak and Artha as Parvati parameshwarau, here Parvati parameshwarau, Adya Dampati, which is also referred to in Vedanta as Shakti and Shakta. And they have a relationship of ananyatva. So they are not separate. Shakti shaktimatoho ananyatvat. So now it is very important that artha is there in Vak, which gets developed depending on the object and the age. So that which gets translated into different kinds of sounds originating from different parts of the oral cavity after a child starts growing becomes a language, where what exactly is bhasha, what is bhasha is vyaktayam vachi. What is bhasha? Vyaktayam vachi. That is that which um, illuminates an object with its meaning, with its attributes, with whatever is the guna and karma of an object. It illuminates vyaktata. Okay, that is bhasha. So bhasha becomes very, very important for vyavahara in one's life. Okay, but why not any bhasha? What is the importance of Sanskritam as bhasha? Okay, that we have to understand. So here there is no conflict between the language, the sound expressed, what we write, and the meaning that is attributed to an object. That is the best part in Sanskritam. That is, You see, as you compare, if you compare to any other language, the way how you speak and what you write is totally different, and it is not mandatory that the object will carry exactly the meaning as per the letters what has been written in that particular language. Okay, so this disparity and confusion is there in any language except Sanskritam. That is why it is called as mother of all languages. So what does it say? भाषासु मुख्या मधुरा दिव्या गीर्वाण भारती. Okay, भाषासु मुख्या मधुरा दिव्या गीर्वाण भारती. So in bhashasu is amongst all languages. So this is the most important language. Why? Because what comes to the mind, that is, you see, vak is the bhasha is an arrangement of aksharas in the form of words and sentences. So if you take a word about an object, the image of an object has to be there in the mind, and the speech that comes out through sound should carry all the attributes of that particular object. So it should not change. So that is when the alignment will result in the right action and also the result which follows. So this is very, very important in any transaction. So if you compare any other language, Samskrita holds the most important amongst all languages. That is why it says Mukhya. And Madhura, it is absolutely sweet. When you say sweet, it is not only sweet to hear, this bhasha is one such which doesn't cause harm to anybody's mind also. In the sense, if somebody is called Moodha, Tvam Moodha. Now, Moodhatva is not scolding something very bad, but it is only, it denotes an ability factor where it says that the intellect is sort of closed. Okay, Moodhatvam is there is no prakasha of intellect, is what it denotes. Okay, so there is no point in sort of hurting somebody's feelings. Such a thing is never seen in Sanskritam, where you hurt somebody. Okay, so this is very, very, very important. And one more important thing is to understand what exactly is Sanskritam. Okay, what is Sanskritam? व्याकरणानुशासनेन सम्यक् कृतम्. व्याकरणानुशासनेन सम्यक् कृतम्. Now what is vyakarana? Vyakaranam is visheshatah all that has been created. Vyakarana is basically creation. Okay, so vyakarana means Vyakarana of not just the sound and the letters. So the artha, when I say, it is that of matter also, that is Jagat also. The Vastu also carries artha, that itself is the artha. And the sound that denotes that artha has to be there already. So there should be no disparity between the sound and the artha. And such a thing is only available in Sanskritam and not any other language. I'll give you an example. Okay, You see, Brahma, okay? When you take the word Brahma, now when you say Brahma, it has to carry a meaning which exactly denotes that particular vastu of Brahma. Okay? So what is the exact meaning? Vyutpatti is Brihattamatvat is what it says. Brihattamatvat. Brihat means that which is big. Tama is something where there is nothing bigger than this particular vastu is called Brahman. Okay? Brahman is that which is so big that there is nothing bigger than that. Okay? So, see for example, Jagat. If you take the word Jagat in Sanskritam, Jagat means Ja is the letter that denotes Janma. Gat E means Gati. That is that which after it is born keeps moving. There is an activity continuously once it is born. Once, okay, it is created. So there is absolutely no disparity between what is the even the akshara, okay, the sound, what you speak, and the object and its attribute. All these put together forms Sanskritam. Vyakarananushasanena samyak kritam. Okay. Now, this particular language called Sanskritam, all these sounds, as I told you, is perfectly aligned to have an interaction between Shabda, Artha and Vastu. Okay. So, the karma and karma phala are also directly involved. So, the entire thing of Sanskritam gives rise to the Veda, Shastra, Purana, Itihasa, etc. The entire Deva Vangmaya, Veda Vangmaya is in this language because there is complete alignment of the Shabda and Artha. And Shabdartha is related to karma. Shabdartha and karma are related to karma phala. Okay. So it becomes very, very, very important to know that Sanskritam is the only language that an individual has to sort of depend on if his uddhara has to happen in the right way as per the Shastra. Why? Because if he has to, if uddhara has to happen, then he has to know what karma has to be done. If what karma has to be done, if he has to know what karma has to be done, he has to go to the Veda. If he has to go to the Veda, he has to know Sanskrit. Okay. So the technical part here is the uchara, the pronunciation, etc. are all they depend on from where they originate. So there is no other language in the world where the exact origin of sound is also fixed. But this is the only language which is immortal, okay, and which also denotes the origin of sound from specific centers in the oral cavity, where it says akuha visarjaniyanam kantaha ichu eshanam taluhu, etc., etc., etc. Okay. So Sanskritam will lead to getting rid of all asuri guna and inculcating of all daivi guna for us to improvise on our samskaras and karma, and to see to it that we continuously go on improvising ourselves in every janma in maintaining Sanatana Dharma. Okay. So, with this, I conclude today's small session about the origin of speech and Sanskritam as bhasha. Om सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः।